Alright there, cut and sew tribe, welcome to cut and sew tribe YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn how to cut and sew this bubu dress. So I'm going to show you how to achieve it, how to achieve the style lines on the yoke area. It is a fitted bubu dress, so that means you are going to be inserting zipper at the back. So let's get into the tutorial in detail. Now these are the required measurements. You are going to need your full gown length. You are going to need your across shoulder measurements, your bust measurements, your hip circumference, and your waist circumference. So basically these are the measurements you're going to need. So I'll be working with this Kampala material. So this is what we're going to use. Now to get the length of your dress, so whatever the length of your dress is, you are going to multiply it by 2. You're going to multiply it by 2. So you're going to fold it into 2 like this. Can you see it? So I'm going to fold it into 2 like this, 2 equally like this. Can you see it? So I'm going to measure the length, whatever your own length is. Like my own, I'm working with length 54. So that 54, I'm going to fold it. I'm going to multiply it by 2. And I'll be adding 3 inches extra for the seam allowance. So that means I'm going to cut 57 on fold. Do you get it now? So I'll be cutting 57 on fold. Whatever your length is, add 3 inches extra and cut it in 2 places. So let me just do that now and we'll continue the tutorial. So this is it. I folded it. Can you see it? So I have the front and the back pieces here. So you are going to leave your zipper allowance for the back. I left like 1.5 inches, and you can just go ahead and iron it down so that it can be easy for you to work with. So just straighten up your fabric like so. So this is it. After ironing it down, this is what you will have. Don't forget to leave this your zipper allowance at the back. Is very important. You know, I said you should add 3 inches to the seam allowance. Here's the reason why you are adding 3 inches. So on this upper part now, for the starting point, I'll be coming down by 1 inch. So this is going to serve as our starting line. So I'll draw it out like this, and it's going to serve as my starting point. Now the next thing you are going to do on this dress now is to measure your across shoulder. So the across shoulder I'm working with is 18 inches. To measure that across shoulder, you are going to start from the front. Don't use the back fabric. You start from the front. So I will measure 19 inches. That is, I've added 1 inch to the across shoulder. So that 19 inches, I'm going to take it so that I will have everything equal. I'm going to measure this 19 inches downward, and I'm going to trim out this fabric. I hope you get it now. So the 19 inches that I've measured here, I'm going to measure it downward so that everything will be equal. You know, I came out by 1.5 inches here, so the back pieces is not equal with the front, so I want to make it equal. That is why I measure the across shoulder. So that across shoulder is what I will just measure downward and cut it out straight. Let me do that and we'll continue. So this is what we have. I have both the front and the back equal here now. Can you see it? Everything is equal here now. Now the next thing we're going to do here now, before I take it to the sewing machine, is I would like to cut the neckline. So the neckline I'm working with is 4 by 4. You know, there is keyhole at the front of this neckline, so I'm going to make it 4 by 4. You can use 3 by 3.5 by 3.5, depending on how you want it to be. So I'll be using 4 by 4, so like this, and this is going to be for the front. So the back, I'm going to make it 1.5 by 4. Do you get it now? So 1.5 by 4. And here now I'm going to slope this my shoulder. That's why I cut it. So I'll be sloping it by 1 inch. Do you get it? And I'll connect it to the neck tip like so. Can you see it now? So like this, I'm going to cut out the neckline. I hope you can see it very well. So this is going to be for the back neckline, and this is going to be for the front neckline. So I'll go ahead and cut it out now. So now be careful when you want to cut. This is the back. I'll cut the back first. So this is my back neckline, and I'll go ahead and cut out the shoulder slant as well. Can you see it? So this is what you will have. Can you see it? So now, I've cut out the back, so I'm going to lift up the front like so, and I will go ahead and cut out the front neckline as well. So don't forget, you go ahead and open up your back. There's going to be zipper at the back, so you have to open it up here like so. Now for the keyhole, I don't want to cut the keyhole now. You are going to understand it better by the time I start sewing my velvet bias on it. I'll be using that velvet bias for the style lines. If you like, you can use part of your fabric as a style line, but to save my time, that is why I am going for the velvet. All right, the next thing we are going to do now is to cut the facing for the front and the back. So to get the width of that facing, if you look at that picture very well, you can use your actual shoulder measurement. We use across shoulder measurement to cut this, but the facing, use your actual shoulder measurement to get the width. And for the depth, you can use 2 inches away from your half length. So in my own case, my actual shoulder measurement is 14 inches. So that means the width of my facing is going to be 14. I'm going to add 1 inch for folding, and that's going to make it 15. And for the length as well is going to be 13 inches, because my half length is 15. So coming up by 2 inches from 15 is going to give me 13. I'll be adding 1 inch to it, and that's going to make it 14. So the fabric I'm going to use for my facing is going to be the width 15 and the length is going to be 14. Let me just cut it out and I'll come and shape it out on the neckline. This is it. I've cut it out. I have 15 by 14 inches. So the next thing I want to do now is to cut out the neckline. I want to cut out the shape of the neckline, and this is it. I want to make sure it is properly placed, and I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is what you should have. Now for my keyhole, I am thinking, and I think that is what I'm going to do. I don't want to cut out the keyhole now, so that it will be very easy for me to place my velvet bias. So I'll just put it aside now, and we're going to work on the bias. So I already have my center line. Like I said, you need to calculate this very well now, so that your work will be neat. Let me fold this back. This is where the work is here. So I'm going to fold this back. I said my shoulder measurement, the actual shoulder measurement I'm working with is 14 inches. So I want to locate that area here. Can you see? This is the 14 inches. Let me just notch this part. We're going to get what I'm trying to create now. So this is it. I've notched it. Now I'll open it back. So this is going to be the width on the shoulder line, but coming down, that facing is not straight, so we're going to slant it a bit. So the width here under here is going to be, I'll be using my bust span. So whatever your bust span is, just make sure you draw it out here. Now the length, I said 2 inches above your half length. So this is my hole. I have it here. I'll just measure it like this, and I will use my bust span to do the width here. Do you get it now? So use your bust span, and you can just go ahead and draw out your line. So I'll connect this point to this point. Do you understand now? This facing is not supposed to be straight. This is what you should have. And I'll do the same thing here, like this. So we already have the shape of the facing, and this is going to serve as a guide for the placement of our style line. So I'll be using this bias. So it's going to be on slant. You're going to slant it. It's not going to be straight. So to make your work very easy, I will encourage you draw out the style lines. So you can start from this angle, because it is, the line is, you're going to slant everything. Do you get it now? And that's the more reason why I said you should not draw out the keyhole line now, so that that place will be easy for you. So I will be drawing out my line now. So you make sure the two lines, your lines, they touch the edge. You know, I'm still going to tape it. We are still going to tape it like this, so that your work can be neat. Do you get it now? So you make sure the lines touch the edges, so that your work can be neat. Can you see the way I'm trying to just draw my slant lines? So you need to consider the amount of velvet you are working with. Here I have about 5 years. Hopefully, I want to believe it should be enough for me. Can you see it? Can you see the way I'm drawing my line? So just go ahead and draw your line like so. Make sure you slant it. The lines are not straight. So can you see it? I am spacing it by like 1 inch. So can you see it? And when I get to this part, the neck, I'll still continue doing the same thing, so that the line can be straight. So I will just do it like this. Can you see it? So I've done this. You need to be careful, and I'll go ahead and do this like so to this side. So make sure you draw all your style lines, and that is what you will follow to sew down your bias. So having all your lines drawn like this will make your work very easy. So I'll take it to the sewing machine like this. I'll sew it down. The next one, I'll sew it down on both sides. The next one, I'll sew it down. This one too, on both sides. And you just do everything like that. Let me go and do that, and I'll come and show you the next thing to do. Okay, this is it. I've done the bias. So this is what you should have if you follow what I have shown you. Now the next thing we're going to do is to cut out the facing for the front. You know, there is keyhole on the neckline of this dress, so we are going to use the lining to turn the keyhole. So that is why I did not do the bias on the facing. I hope you get what I'm trying to pass across. So to create the keyhole, that keyhole is not that wide, so I'm not going to make it wide. I'll just go in like, let's say 3/4 of an inch is okay, so that by the time you know it's unfold, so that by the time I open it up, it's going to give me like 1.5. Do you get it? And you know, I'm still going to turn it. I'll still turn it. So I think I'll just be using half of an inch. Let me just use half of an inch, because I don't want it to be too wide. So you can use between half of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. Do you get it now? And I'll just open it up by 2.5. So like this. Can you see it? I'll just create this small curve. So by the time I open this shape up now, I'm going to have 1 inch, and by the time I turn it with the lining, it's going to give me like 1.5 inches. I think it's okay like that. So this is what I want to do now. Make sure your facing is set under, so that you will have the same shape. So this is what I want to do now. Just cut it out like this, just this small shape. Can you see it? So I have it like this, and if I open it up, this is what I will have. So can you see it? So the hole is not much. I don't want it to be too much. So I'll take it to the sewing machine now. Right side of the facing will be facing this one now. Do you get it now? So I'll just go and use my machine. I will sew it from this part. I hope you can see it. I'm going to sew it from the beginning here like this, like this, like this, like this. Do you get it? And after sewing it, I will notch it and turn it to the other side. So I'll come and show you how we can finish the inside so that we have neat finishing. Here is it. This is what your neckline should look like after turning it. So I have the back to still be like this. Now this is what you want to do. You are going to need your hemming gum to achieve this neat finishing. So I'll be using this hemming gum. This is what I will go and do with the hemming gum. So I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch round on the edge with my iron. So I'll just fold in 1/2 inch round, and I'm going to use my hemming gum to just secure it, just to like achieve a very neat finishing. I don't want any thread to be showing outside here. So I've turned the neck of the back too. Can you see it? I've turned it, and I'm going to do the same thing to finish up the facing. Can you see it? So I'll just fold in 1/2 inch here like this, and I'll use my hemming gum to secure it. I will come and continue from there. All right, I've secured the facing, and this is what I have. So another thing I did behind you is this, so that I use hemming gum so that it will not remove. I just follow the initial thread I have on this bias like this, just to hold down my facing. Can you see it? So like this, I'm very sure it cannot remove. Now the next thing I'll go and do now is I'll go and fix the zipper for the back, and I will join the shoulder. So this tutorial is we are almost done with this tutorial. I'll fix the zipper, I'll join the shoulder, and I'll come and show you how to shape it. I'll finish up the neckline, I'll fix my zipper, and this is the last thing we're going to do, just to shape this bubu dress. So you need to get your crease line at the center like this. I've done that with my iron. So that is going to serve as a guide for you to take your measurements. Don't forget, from the starting point here now, you're going to come down like, say I said, between 8 to 10 inches depending on what you are working on. So in my own case, I'll be coming down by 9 inches. 9 inches is okay. That's going to serve like my sleeve opening. Do you get it now? So we are going to do that on both sides. On this side too, I'll come down by 9 inches to get my sleeve opening. Do you get it now? So on this 9 inches now, you're going to make sure you use this line to get your bust measurement. So whatever your bust measurement is, the bust measurement I'm working with is 36. So we're going to divide 36 into 2, and that's going to give us 18. So that 18 on the line here, I will have 9 to this side and 9 to the other side. Do you get it now? So that's the essence of that crease line at the center of this dress, just for you to be able to balance to centralize your measurements. Do you get it now? So this is my bust measurement. I've inserted it, and I'm going to measure from shoulder to my waist, which is 16 inches. So the same thing I did, I'm going to centralize it using my crease line just to get the midpoint of the waist. So the waist I'm working with is 32. 32 into 2 is going to give me 16 inches. So 16 inches, I'm going to divide it into 2 again, half to this side, half to that side. So I have 8 inches on both sides, and I'm going to draw my line like so. So I will have it like this, and I'll connect it. So please make sure you use something that you can clean up later, because this is the right side of this fabric, and you are going to do it on the right side on your own as well, because this is bubu. Do you get it now? So I'll just connect it like this. So this is my waist. So I'm going to do the same thing from shoulder to my hip length. I will measure it and divide it and just draw it out. So I will go and start sewing from this armhole here down, following the line I have drawn. So I will bring it all the way down. So towards the end of this dress, I'll be leaving like, for ease of movement, I'm going to leave like from the hem like this. I'll stop around 9 inches. I'll stop here so that there's going to be opening here just for ease of movement. I hope you can see what I'm trying to say. So this is it. I have it like this. Instead of me bringing it all the way down, I'm going to stop at 9 inches before the hem of this dress. Do you get it now? On both sides. So let me just go and do that. I'm going to sew the edges. I'll finish it up. I'm going to sew it around, and I will display it on mannequin for us to see. All right, so tribe, this is the final outlook of our bubu dress. Can you see how pretty and neat it is? So I've come to the end of this tutorial. If you find it helpful, kindly give us thumbs up. Do well to subscribe to this channel for more interesting tutorial, and turn on your bell notification so that you'll be notified anytime I upload another tutorial. I'll see you soon. Bye.